right. Hi, everyone. This is Stan from Wealth Success Reviews. And the other face you see on the screen today is Edwin Harkness Spina. You may have read my review of his book. What's the name of the book, Ed?
Mystic Warrior.
Mystic Warrior. A tale, let's see.
Novel Beyond Time and Space.
Yeah. I read the book, I guess, about 3 times now and have paged through it a couple more. And it's part of the reason that I've come back. I think most of my readers remember that I did a review of your program, your Energy Clearing Center, about a year ago, and I didn't do a very good job of it. And I must apologize to both you and to my readers, but I kind of let I believe my ego or my intellect get in the way and, kind of, who is this guy to think he's a mystic? And that's unfortunately because my readers have missed out on something that I think is terribly important. Over the past 10 days or so, I've been using the Energy Clearing Center. My readers know that I've written quite a bit about in the last couple of weeks about the synchronicities that have been going on and, some problems I've been having with my clarity, and I really needed the Energy Clearing Center. And Ed and I have just gone through an online version. How do you call it, Ed?
Personal clearing.
Personal clearing, and which I can really feel the difference, and so I'm definitely I apologize for that review because it sucked. It was wrong, and I really have come to respect your energy clearing work, and I'm using it and now on a daily basis, and it's helping me. So Ed, how did you get into? I don't want the short version, but Western round eye getting involved in all this mysticism. It's a bit unusual.
Right. Well, I was like you said, a left-brained mathematician, computer scientist, venture capitalist, using my intellect to earn my living. And a girlfriend sent me to Blockbuster to get a movie one day, and I came back with this Dick Sutphen's Past Life Regression. And I had no interest in spirituality or anything, any history or anything like that, but it said it would calm you down. And at the time, I had a few companies that I was starting up, and so I thought this would be good to relax me. And I went into an altered state, and I basically had a past life recall. Now, initially, I didn't just finally accept that this was a past life. I had to go investigate like any good intellectual would.
Exactly.
But I wrote down all the things, my name, the country. I knew all these things from listening to going through his regression. And then I researched it and saw that all the information matched exactly. It was entirely consistent, and I knew I had no other way of tapping into the source. However I had tapped into the source of information, I knew that my education was incomplete. And that's what started me on the path of studying reincarnation, karma, metaphysics, all under the umbrella of mysticism.
Yeah, well, I too have, my starting was back. I was a combat photographer in Vietnam and started visiting the local temples because I'd seen the pictures of the Buddhist monks burning themselves, and I couldn't understand.
Right.
How can anybody set themselves on fire? And so I started, and that started my path on studying meditation, and it's been a lifelong practice. And of course, it also developed my ego a little bit when I looked at your program last year. And but we're coming into a time now where meditation and energy clearing, I think, is becoming much more important. I remember there was a radio show back in the 90s by a gentleman by the name of Art Bell. I don't remember.
Yes, Art Bell, right. Coast to coast now, right.
And coast to coast, right. And he talked about a quickening way back then, and that quickening is coming about very rapidly. I don't know whether it has to do with 2012 or whether we're coming into some sort of an evolution of consciousness. I believe we are.
Yes.
Things are changing, and they're changing very rapidly, and it's time. Some people are getting left behind, and some people are latching right onto this and going with the flow, and your program certainly helps people with that. And maybe you could explain a little bit about what an energy clearing does for a person.
Right. Okay. Well, everyone knows you're not just your physical body. You also have emotional bodies, mental bodies, spiritual bodies. And at the apex of your existence is your master within, inner light, divine aspect, the I am presence, by whatever name you want to give it. This is God acting through you. And the way God acts through you and the way your intuition and that communicates with your body and your mind is via your energy centers. These energy centers are known as the chakras in the Eastern schools of mysticism, and they're just called energy centers or psychic centers in the Western parlance. There are 7 major chakras in the Eastern schools. There are 12 in the Western schools, and they correspond with one another. Some of them there's a one-to-one correspondence. But, for example, the heart chakra in the Eastern schools comprises 2 centers in the West, both the physical heart and the thymus gland. The Western energy centers are concerned with the actual glands or organs that animate your body. And the 2 most important glands are in your center of your brain, the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. Both of them are right next to each other in the center of your brain, and that accounts for about 75% of your psychic abilities. So you want those to be unblocked so you can feel the more subtle vibrations of your higher energy bodies and ultimately the I am presence within you. You want to block those, and what energy center clearing does is it does it very quickly. It unblocks those energy centers, and in addition, it flushes your energy bodies, because within your emotional body are the emotions that you're feeling, as well as similar emotions which you've attracted to yourself by virtue of the law of attraction. Same thing with your mental body. Thoughts that you're thinking, you're attracting other thoughts of the same kind. So what the energy center clearing does is also flushes all those extraneous thoughts from your body and the discordant energies. So you're basically starting from a blank slate. Whatever you think, whatever you want to be, whatever your true essence is, comes out more readily. And that's what the whole program is about, letting you be more you.
All right. Yeah, I just went through that, and I could actually feel physical changes as we were discussing a few minutes ago. I was freezing my butt off, and it's 90 degrees in this room, and I'm just starting to warm up now. So something was definitely happening. I know that's not, most people get hot. I got some twinges in my hands and my feet, and started to get the chills, and that was, when it's 90 degrees, you don't normally get chilly. So,
right. Your inner senses are tuned in, and they have to interpret these sensations in some way that you correspond with the physical. Most commonly, it's warmth and tingling, but there's a smaller percentage that feel cold, and the tingling as well, what you felt.
Yeah, I definitely felt the tingling and the cold. How much of this, the I am that I am, I've become very interested in that whole area. I read some work from Wayne Dwyer on I am that I am and the true name of God.
Right.
When you invoke the I am, you're invoking the God within yourself, the God within us all, and hopefully the whole holographic universe when you make that invocation. How much of this, if any, do you think has to do with 2012? That's become the big story recently.
Yeah, the number of different prophecies that all point toward 2012 as being the end of one cycle and the beginning of another cycle. It doesn't mean it's the end of the earth. It doesn't mean that we're suddenly, the next day, everyone's going to wake up and they're going to be enlightened. It's been a gradual process that's been going on for millennia. The raising of consciousness of every being, of every sentient being, from mineral to plant to animal to human, and humans are moving up to a higher state of consciousness which will appear to be godlike to us. As we see it today, it will look as if we're attaining these godlike qualities, like telepathy or remote viewing, astral projection. It's just making us more ourselves, or tuning into that I am presence that you talked about. So it's been a gradual process, and I think 2012 is just a kind of marking where we've reached critical mass, and enough people in humanity have stepped over from the competitive aspect of existence toward a more compassionate, more cooperative environment. Astrologically, we talk about the age of Aquarius, the age of brotherhood of man. It's the same thing. You're going to more cooperation as opposed to just competition.
Yes, being a baby boomer, I remember all the age of Aquarius. This is, and it wasn't then, but it certainly is now. The changes are happening rapidly. I think it's important for us that, for those of us that feel that we're making the change, to help others along, because if we don't introduce this to enough people, some people are going to get left behind. Some people don't believe in any of this at all. I've had personal experiences with out of body and some things that I won't even talk about, that because they will not understand. But people need help right now to get through this period, because it's a critical period. There's going to be people that, if we don't help them, they're going to get left behind, and we could literally end up with two societies.
Well, I think the good analogy is almost like the internet. In the old way of thinking of things, you'd say, "Oh, I'm the only one with the internet connection in my community. What I can do is charge for access to this internet connection, and I'll make money that way." But then you realize that if you get everyone has an internet connection, your internet connection actually becomes more valuable, because now you can communicate with everyone across the world. So it's the same thing here. Everyone is raised in their state of consciousness, where everyone has this new philosophy of altruism and cooperation. It'll make your life better. So it's not a question of getting a leg up on someone else and being able to outcompete them. The opposite is, by helping them, you're helping yourself even more.
Well, that's what yeah, exactly what I see. We need to help those who are having a rough time with this, because in doing that, we are helping ourselves. The greatest gift that you can give yourself is to help someone else, and because in doing so, you express the true love for yourself when you're expressing it to others.
Right, and ultimately that I am presence that's animating you is the same I am presence that's animating every other individual on the earth. So that is literally the case, that all is one, because it's the same. Everyone has the same soul ultimately. It expresses itself uniquely and differently for each individual, but it's the same soul which animates everyone.
Well, yeah, there's many different names for a lot of people call it the holographic universe. There's a lot of names for it, but we're all part of that one entity. We're all individual pieces within that, common consciousness that we all share.
Right.
And it's important for us to see this at this time, and to get into helping people as much as possible. Your program, should people like to join it, what do they need to do, Ed?
Well, go to energycenterclearing.com. It will tell you more about the program. While you're there, you can also sign up for a series of free lessons on overcoming stress, fear, anger, disidentifying from your emotions, connecting with your inner master, being yourself, taking back your power, and ultimately escaping the matrix, which is a metaphor for the mystic path of enlightenment. So you can get those free lessons, but the Energy Center Clearing will be described, and you can order that. It comes either in CD or download format, and also comes with a few bonuses, and the best bonuses, you get one free clearing via telephone by me directly.
Oh yeah,
so,
and that was wonderful, and I really thank you for that. I will, everyone, we are short on time, so I'll be leaving Ed at this point, and you will find links down below to Ed's energy clearing site, and also to his Mystic Warrior, because that's really a good read. Might even be a good preface to doing your energy center clearing. And it's in the tradition, Redfield tradition, but I feel even a heartfelt closeness to that particular book, Mystic Warrior. And thank you for being with me, Ed, today, and I'll meet you on the flip side.
Thank you, Stan.
Thanks for listening in today, and like I say, I'll have the links down below. Hey, have a wonderful day, and seize the day. It's beautiful out there. It always is. Bye for now, everyone.